今度は遊んであげてね。
嫌味か？
え？
仕方ないだろう。仕事忙しいんだからさ。人間誰しもキャパシティがあんだよ。
Have you ever noticed how love doesn't disappear overnight? It simply fades in the spaces between routine and responsibility. That's exactly what happened to Hana. When she first got married, life felt full. But as the years went by, something changed. Her husband, Yuto, started coming home late. His work became more demanding, and when he was home, his mind was still at the office. There was no fight, no betrayal, just silence. Hana loved her family deeply, but she began to feel invisible, as if the rhythm of daily life had swallowed her voice. Morning routines, school drop-offs, grocery runs, they all blurred together. Her little son's laughter became her only bright spot, the thing that reminded her that warmth still existed somewhere in the chaos. One sunny day, on the way to pick up her child from kindergarten, Hana's bicycle chain broke. She stopped by the side of the road and struggled to fix it. People passed by without paying any attention until a voice asked, "Need help?" It was Kiriyama, another parent from her son's class. He was calm, kind, and carried the kind of sincerity that made people feel at ease. He helped her fix the chain and smiled softly, saying, "These things always happen when we're in a hurry, don't they?"
どうかされました？
なんか自転車が動かなくなっちゃって。
チェーンが外れてますね。ちょっと僕直します。
本当ですか？
はい。このぐらいだったらすぐに治ると。
すいません。
これで大丈夫だと思います。
ここのところ汚れちゃってますけど。ごめんなさい。
いえ、大丈夫ですよ。家帰って顔洗えば落ちますから。
そうですか。
はい。
本当はありがとうございました。
全然大丈夫ですよ、このぐらい。
助かりました。じゃあ、私はこれで。
はい。気をつけて。
はい。ありがとうございます。
It was a small, simple exchange, nothing more. But for Hana, that moment reminded her what genuine kindness looked like. A few days later, they crossed paths again outside the kindergarten.
森沢さん。
This time, the conversation lasted a little longer. They talked about their children's favorite cartoons, about how hard it was balancing work, family, and time for themselves. Hana didn't realize it then, but these small talks were slowly helping her find her voice again. Every parent knows how isolating adulthood can be, juggling responsibilities while trying not to lose yourself in the process. For Hana, those brief moments of connection became a small anchor. Not a secret, not something hidden, just human understanding shared between two parents walking the same path. She never spoke ill of her husband, and Kiriyama never asked about her private life. Their conversations stayed in the safe space of everyday life, gentle, respectful, and real. Over time, Hana began to notice something important. She wasn't the only one feeling tired. Her husband, too, looked worn out. She started to wonder if maybe Just maybe, he carried his own kind of loneliness, the one that comes from working too hard for the people you love. This realization planted a quiet seed in her heart, the thought that connection isn't only about romance or grand gestures. Sometimes it's about remembering that everyone is fighting their own unseen battles. And in that realization, Hana found a small comfort. Because sometimes all it takes is one kind moment, one genuine listener, to remind us that empathy still exists in this world. It wasn't a story of escape. It was a story of awakening. And maybe that was the beginning of something not traumatic, not cinematic, but real. Because sometimes understanding doesn't begin with grand changes. It begins with small acts of kindness, both from others and from ourselves. There's a quiet kind of healing that happens when people feel seen, not praised, not pitied, just understood. For Hana, that feeling came slowly, like sunlight filtering through morning fog. Her days still looked the same, preparing breakfast, helping her child get ready for school, cleaning, cooking, but something inside her had shifted. It started with small things. She smiled more often. She began journaling at night, writing down 3 things she was grateful for each day. Sometimes it was something as simple as, "My son laughed today." Other times it was, "I had a kind conversation." One day, Kuriyama stopped by with a small box wrapped neatly in colorful paper. "Just something for your son," he said modestly. Inside was a set of colored pencils. "Thank you," Hana said warmly. "He'll love this."
じゃあ、僕はこれで。
待ってください。
はい。
She invited him to stay for tea, a gesture of simple gratitude.
じゃあ、どうぞ上がってください。
ああ、お邪魔します。
They sat by the window, watching the light fall across the room. Their conversation drifted from parenting to memories of their own childhoods, to the little joys that keep people going. He shared how he also struggled with balancing work and fatherhood. He confessed that there were days when he felt like he was failing both his job and his family. Hana listened, realizing that her husband might feel the same way. Hana shared how she used to love drawing before marriage, how she stopped because life became too busy. Kuriyama smiled and said, "Maybe it's time to start again. Sometimes we forget the things that used to make us happy." That line struck a deep chord. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't traumatic. It was human. Kuriyama's kindness reminded her that empathy isn't about choosing sides. It's about opening your heart enough to understand that everyone carries their own story. Every story of growth has a quiet turning point. For Hana, that moment came on a normal evening, nothing special. Her husband came home late, tired and rumpled. Normally, Hana would have greeted him with silence, but that day, compassion soothed her. "Welcome home," she said softly. They really talked about exhaustion, balance, and the struggle to keep afloat. Hana didn't correct or judge. She simply listened, and in that simple kindness, their love quietly began to heal. The next day, she met Kuriyama briefly outside the kindergarten. She smiled and said, "It's better. I think I've finally learned to see things clearly." Kiriyama nodded, his expression calm and supportive. Sometimes that's all it takes to see what's been there all along. They talked for a few more minutes, then went their separate ways. It was an unspoken goodbye, an acknowledgement that one had helped the other find his way, and that was enough. Life wasn't suddenly perfect. There were still long days and tired nights. But laughter returned, soft and genuine. Hana and her husband talked again about dreams and small joys. She realized love endures not through grand gestures, but gentle care. Kiriyama's quiet kindness reminded her of patience and empathy. By rediscovering these, Hana rebuilt her home, not through change, but by cherishing what was already there. In the end, Hana learned that love doesn't fade. It simply waits to be noticed again. A good friend reminded her not of what she lacked, but of what she already had. And that is the quiet beauty of connection. It heals not by changing our world, but by helping us see it with kinder eyes. Because true friendship builds, it never takes away.